Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like something didn't quite add up? Your hair is done. Your outfit is carefully chosen. You're wearing the earrings you always get compliments on. But then, your eye lands on it, your handbag. That same old slouchy tote you've been carrying for years. It used to feel neutral, safe, practical. But now it feels like it belongs to another version of you. A version that no longer reflects the woman you are today. See, here's what most people don't realize. A handbag isn't just something you carry, it's something that speaks. It tells a story before you even say a word. It can uplift your posture, elevate your presence, or quietly pull everything down. And if you're over 60, the bag you carry matters more than ever, not because of trends, but because of who you've become. So in this video, we're going to walk through the 5 types of handbags women over 60 should probably leave behind, and more importantly, what to carry instead. This isn't about throwing everything out. It's about upgrading your style to match the elegance, wisdom, and confidence you've earned. Because at this stage in life, we're not just carrying keys and lipsticks anymore. We're carrying decades of stories, and your bag should carry that with grace. Let's begin. Let's start with a familiar favorite, the oversized, soft, slouchy tote bag. You know, the bag that fits everything. Your phone, your wallet, a novel, a bottle of water, maybe even an umbrella, some receipts from last week, and a random snack at the bottom. It's reliable. It's roomy. It's been with you through a lot. But here's the quiet truth. That same slouchy tote might be aging you more than you realize. Because after 60, structure matters, not just in life, but in fashion too. Think about it, a bag with no form tends to collapse, sink, and stretch in all the wrong places. It slouches off your shoulder. It pulls your outfit down. It hides your waist and exaggerates your hips. Even your most polished coat or elegant dress can start to look messy. I once saw a woman in the park, probably mid-60s, wearing a beautiful navy wool coat, silk scarf tied just right, and heeled ankle boots. She looked incredible, until I noticed the faded canvas bag hanging off her shoulder. It was sagging, overstuffed, and sitting low like it had given up. And I thought, that bag is saying something she doesn't mean to say. Because no matter how confident you are, if the item you carry every single day is dragging you down literally and visually, it takes something away from the whole picture. And here's something else. If you find yourself constantly rummaging through your tote, or if it's ever spilled open in public and scattered your things, or if it sits on the floor like a puddle when you put it down, then maybe, just maybe it's time to upgrade. So, what should you carry instead? Replace that shapeless tote with a structured handbag, one that stands on its own when you set it down, one with clean lines, firm edges, and thoughtful design. It doesn't have to be stiff, just structured enough to give shape to your look and to your posture. You'll be amazed what happens when you switch. Suddenly, you're standing taller, walking with more purpose. Even in jeans and a plain tee, you look and feel more polished. Look for high-quality leather or a refined vegan alternative. Go for timeless tones: camel, chocolate brown, deep navy, ivory colors that complement your wardrobe instead of clashing with it. And here's a tip: you don't need to carry the whole house. Just bring what you actually use. Let go of the rest. Details matter: short handles, discreet hardware, a solid base. These small touches speak volumes, because a handbag doesn't just carry your things, it carries your energy. your confidence, your story. So if your current tote feels more like baggage than beauty, it might be time to let it go. Now let's talk about a bag that sneaks into our daily lives without us even noticing. The sporty nylon crossbody. Lightweight, durable, full of zippers. It's the bag we grab when heading to the farmer's market, or going for a walk, or hopping on a plane. And for those moments, it works. But when that same sporty crossbody becomes your everyday companion at lunch, out shopping, even to dinner, something subtle begins to shift. Elegance fades, style gets muffled. You may not notice it at first. After all, it's convenient. Right hands free, easy to clean, lightweight. But take a closer look. The shiny nylon fabric, the plastic buckles, the clashing zippers. They send one message loud and clear: function over form. And at this stage in life, you deserve both. I remember bumping into a former colleague at a bookstore. She was wearing a gorgeous wool cape, riding boots, and a simple chignon. But slung across her chest was a nylon bag, faded, bulky, straps cutting across her torso. It completely threw off her look. And that's the hidden cost of sporty bags. They interrupt your silhouette. They fight with blazers, they clash with flowy dresses, and they create awkward lines across the chest, especially if the strap is thin and long. Let's not even talk about how they look in photos like a seatbelt cutting through your outfit. So what's the alternative? It's simple. Keep the concept, but elevate the material, structure, and shape. Look for a crossbody made of leather or faux leather, something with a body that holds its shape and a slightly wider strap for better balance. The goal is a bag that hugs your hip gently, not bounces around as you move. A soft rectangular shape works beautifully. Not too wide, not too deep. Think intentional, not industrial. And here's something I absolutely love: interchangeable straps. A sleek leather strap for dinner or meetings, and a woven one for weekends. One bag, multiple moods. Choose colors with depth and warmth: sand, espresso, olive green, soft burgundy. These tones are rich, flattering, and far more luxurious than basic black nylon. Keep the design minimal: one flap, one clasp, one elegant detail. You don't need 8 zippers and 3 logos. You need calm, confident simplicity. Bonus tip: go for a curved or rounded silhouette, like a saddlebag or half-moon shape. It softens angular body lines and adds a whisper of femininity. And remember, the way your bag moves with you matters. A cheap crossbody twists, bounces, and feels noisy even if it doesn't make a sound. A well-made one, it moves with your stride, as if it belongs. So if your current go-to is a nylon bag you originally bought for travel, maybe it's time to retire it to the airport, not the cafe, not the gallery, not the lunch date. Because your everyday life deserves a bag that's not just practical, but beautifully aligned with the woman you've become. Let's talk about something many of us once loved and maybe still do: the designer handbag with the big, bold logo. You know the one. The giant initials stamped across the front, the pattern repeated all over the fabric, the shiny hardware announcing the brand before you say a word. And listen, I get it. You worked hard. You earned the right to buy something beautiful. And for years, that bag probably made you feel proud, polished, even powerful. But here's the thing no one likes to admit: loud logos don't age well. What once felt like a statement can start to feel like a distraction. I remember meeting an acquaintance at a museum opening. She walked in wearing a stunning ivory blouse, silk trousers, and a graceful pearl necklace. But slung on her shoulder was a massive logo bag, the kind that screams designer from across the room. And suddenly, instead of noticing her, everyone noticed the bag. That's the power and the problem with loud branding. It speaks before you do. And sometimes, it overshadows everything else. After 60, your presence is powerful on its own. You don't need a label to introduce you. You are the brand now. So what's the better choice? Replace that logo-loud bag with something quietly luxurious. A handbag made from beautiful leather, soft to the touch, subtle in design, impeccably stitched. Think a dove gray satchel with rounded corners, a saddle brown top handle with smooth edges, a rich oxblood crossbody with elegant hardware, no logos, no noise. These bags don't demand attention, they command it quietly. And here's what I've learned. The women who truly live with grace, who walk into a room and instantly shift the energy, often carry the most understated bags. No logos, no glitter, no trends, just quality, just taste, just timeless elegance. If you still love designer brands, that's perfectly okay. Just be selective. Look for pieces that focus on craftsmanship, not celebrity. Explore vintage collections, small leather ateliers, or up-and-coming designers who let their work speak for itself. Because in the end, your bag should feel like an extension of you, not a billboard for someone else. So if your closet still holds a few logo-covered pieces from another decade, don't feel guilty. They serve their purpose. But if they no longer align with who you are today, maybe it's time to let them go and let your quiet confidence do the talking. Now let's revisit a bag that once felt like the height of chic, the tiny shoulder bag. Remember those? They hugged the underarm, had slim little straps, and were everywhere in the early 2000s. Sleek, minimal, just enough space for your keys, a lipstick, and maybe a flip phone. Many of us still have one tucked in the back of the closet, a little time capsule of another era. But here's the truth no one tells you. What once flattered you in your 30s or 40s may not work the same at 60 and beyond. These tiny bags often sit high on the body, right under the arm, adding bulk to the bust, shortening the torso, and throwing off your proportions. And if your shoulders have softened with time, or if your posture has shifted, even slightly, these bags can end up looking tight, awkward, and even a bit juvenile. I had this lovely leather mini bag from Paris, soft blush pink, gold buckle. Just adorable. I wore it everywhere in my 40s, but when I recently pulled it out again, slipped it over my shoulder, and glanced in the mirror, something just didn't look right. The proportions were off. It made my outfit look top-heavy. Worse, I felt like I was trying to relive a version of myself instead of honoring who I am now, and the bag wasn't doing me any favors. So what's the better option? You don't need to give up shoulder bags entirely. Just let them grow up with you. Opt for a half moon or crescent shape, still sleek, but with a longer drop that gently skims the waist, not the bust. This creates a more flattering, lengthening line on the body. Or consider a structured hobo bag, not the oversized, slouchy kind, but one made of pebbled leather or suede, with enough form to hold its shape. Another favorite, the small satchel with a shoulder strap, equal parts feminine and functional. When it comes to color, think elevated caramel, slate blue, rich ivory, deep berry. Avoid chain straps that dig into your shoulder. Skip flashy buckles that clash with delicate fabrics. Instead, choose refined stitching, minimalist hardware, and shapes that feel like they belong with your outfit, not against it. The right shoulder bag doesn't just fit your outfit, it fits your evolution. And let's be honest, at this stage in life, you shouldn't have to fidget with a purse every 5 minutes or feel like your handbag is a costume. You've grown. So should your accessories. Because style isn't about clinging to the past. It's about choosing what supports your present. Now let's talk about the bag that tempts all of us, especially during special occasions. The overly embellished evening clutch. Sequins, rhinestones, metallics, feathers. At first glance, it feels magical. That sparkle catches the light. It promises to elevate your outfit. It whispers, "This will make you shine." But here's what really happens. More often than not, it ends up doing the opposite. Let me paint a picture. A woman walks into a dinner party wearing a beautiful black silk wrap dress. Her hair is swept back. Her jewelry is minimal and tasteful. She looks elegant, grounded, but in her hand, a clutch covered in glittering crystals and oversized rhinestones that glint under every chandelier. Suddenly, the focus shifts not to her grace, her poise, her presence, but to the tiny disco ball she's clutching, because too much sparkle doesn't always say sophistication. Sometimes it just says, trying too hard. Here's the truth. After a certain age, we don't need accessories that perform. We don't need pieces that beg for attention. We need items that quietly support the confidence we already carry, that reflect who we are now, not who we used to be. So what should you carry instead? Let go of the glitter. Instead, reach for texture-rich, understated materials that glow instead of sparkle. Think brushed suede in charcoal, velvet in deep navy or emerald, satin in soft bronze or rose gold, metallic leather but matte, not mirror shiny. These materials catch the light in a way that feels intimate. They don't scream under chandeliers. They glow by candlelight. Go for clean shapes, a structured clutch, a slim top handle, a small shoulder bag with soft, rounded edges. Make sure there's enough room for what actually matters. Your phone, your lipstick, your glasses, maybe a tissue or two. You shouldn't have to sacrifice function just to feel elegant. Hardware should be intentional and minimal. A single gold clasp, a satin-covered frame, a quiet magnetic closure. And when it comes to color, embrace tone-on-tone beauty. A navy velvet bag against a navy gown. A bronze satin clutch with an ivory wrap. A dusty rose with warm neutrals. The effect layered, thoughtful, quietly unforgettable. Because here's the thing. An evening bag shouldn't be the star of your look. You are. And if you find yourself hesitating before picking up that old glittery clutch, the one you wore to holiday parties in your 40s, trust your instinct. You're not being too critical. You're evolving. And your style should evolve with you. Because after 60, the most radiant thing in the room isn't your handbag. It's the way you carry yourself. There comes a moment in every woman's life when she stops asking, "Does this look good on me?" and starts asking, "Does this still feel like me?" That moment is freedom. It's the turning point where style becomes more than clothing or accessories. It becomes alignment, a reflection of how you see yourself and how you want to move through the world. Every bag we've talked about today, the slouchy tote, the sporty crossbody, the loud logo purse, the tiny shoulder bag, and the glittery clutch, they all had their moment. They served you well. They were part of your journey. But not everything is meant to follow us forever, and that's okay. Because letting go of something that no longer serves you doesn't mean you're letting go of the memories. It just means you're making space for what's next. And what's next is more beautiful, more deliberate, more you. So, what should your handbags say about you today that you're confident, that you're thoughtful, that you've lived, learned, and refined your taste not to impress others, but to express who you truly are? Because now, you don't carry just things. You carry experience, discernment, self-respect, and a quiet kind of power that can't be bought. So choose bags that carry you just as beautifully, structured, elegant, purposeful. Let your accessories whisper so that your presence can speak. If this video spoke to you, if you saw even one bag from your closet flash through your mind, consider it a little nudge, a reminder that your style, just like you, is allowed to evolve. You don't need permission. But just in case you've been waiting for it, this is it. Let go of what no longer aligns. Choose what uplifts you. And if you'd like more style, confidence, and inspiration made especially for women over 60, be sure to subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss what's next. Because aging isn't about fading, it's about refining. And the most powerful accessory you'll ever carry is the way you walk into a room and know you belong there.